Hey guys, so we're going to start with the Wisdom of the Oracle deck first. And before I do start, Spirit wants for me to get something off my chest here. So, when are we going to stop giving up our power and giving our power away? I understand we always want to hear about what's going on with the other person's life, being more concerned with their life than what you need to be concerned of, and that's ourselves. Aren't we tired of giving our power away? Aren't we tired of worrying about what they're doing and not focusing on us? Okay. My channel is supposed to be about self-love and focusing on the hard things, or we would be just like them. Like how they put us in these awkward positions because we were so focused on them and worried about them. We weren't in touch with our own, toxic or karmic ways to where they were able to take advantage of the things that we felt were, kind and loving. We need to focus on us and what we need to do to rebuild us back so that way we can call in healthier relationships. I'm just tired of hearing about what they're doing and why they're doing this and what they're about to do. Should not concern us. We should be focusing on us. We should be selfish now with our own energy, showing us our own self-respect, our own self-love, okay? Finding out what we need to be doing for our future without them, in the absence of them. Stop making them be the ruler over why we are here in this place. Okay, we're giving the wrong people the power. We need to give the Holy Spirit the power over our life, not that person. Even though I do understand there's a contribution, we will speak about the contributions, but for most certainly, we have to really focus more so on ourselves so we can stop holding on to resentment and anger for these people who lost good people. That's it. Okay? They lost good people by manipulating emotions and feelings and depth and deepness. And, so that's all. So, Wisdoms of the Oracle. Let's see. What's the first message? Regeneration. The number 46 can be of significance. Rejuvenation. 46. Regeneration. So the essential meaning of this card is a rebirth, second chances, and new opportunities. Second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now being replaced by something better or more powerful growing in its place. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. I like this deck because they have like different messages and I am being called to read them all, okay? So for the relationship message, the world is based on connections and relationships. No matter what loss has occurred in the past or even now, death and endings are only illusions. There is life after death, love after loss, and in this moment, you are radiating the regenerative life force energy that makes you irresistible to love in all forms. Now is the time when you will see evidence of this new emergence. Can you feel it? Love is rising up to greet you. The prosperity message is, what happens when it appears you failed at something? Do you see the beauty in the lesson? The understanding that arises from difficulties is like a seed that lies dormant for a time. Then once it germinates in your subconscious, it pushes through into your awareness. It is becoming apparent that there is a new you, a new start, A more powerful version and form of what you began to plant in the garden of your imagination has surfaced. You are ripe for success. New opportunities, much better than those that came before, appear like gifts from the gods. Now is one of those times when out of seeming loss and failure comes remarkable abundance. Do not dwell on the past because you really are experiencing a rebirth. The protection message. Endings come in many forms, and now is the time to stop holding on to what must die so that something better can take its place. Nature's cycles include disease, decay, death, and regeneration. Let whatever isn't working in your life die. Don't be afraid to face the facts. There is no need to struggle or grieve. Whatever your query, let it go. You're about to be reborn. I think there's more. Oh, that's it. Okay. So, just like I said in the channel message in regards to focusing more so on self, okay, knowing where you're going, even if there are obstacles to climb that tree, that new tree, you are rebirthing, okay? You are rebirthing. It was all fire. It was all broken. It's all angry. It's all sadness down here, okay? Because nothing can grow in fire, right? And so now that there's a regeneration here, you have some green life coming, and then some light, some color here. All right. So whatever's been burnt, all right, can always be restored. Co-create. There's something new coming in. So after you restore and regenerate you, there is something new coming in, no matter whatever this is, okay? Whether it's in your finances, in your stability, whether it is a romantic interest, maybe it's reconciliation with family and friends, maybe. Who knows what that co-creation is, but it's there. But after regeneration occurs, okay, I'm not going to read about co-creation. Something about 40 can be significant. You can be in your 40s. All right. Going to tarot. Okay. We have the Magician in the reverse coming out. There has been a lot of manipulation and trickery and deception that you have believed for a very long time. Okay? Maybe you were told your dreams would never come to fruition. Maybe someone told you that you were something that you weren't. Okay? And you could have given up. Okay, you could have given up on a dream, on a goal, because someone maybe wasn't happy with what you were doing. Maybe you were in the energy of wanting to keep those around you happy, at peace, and you felt like this was what you needed to do in order to continue with your connections. Okay, this was all a manipulation tactic. It was all for you to self-abandon yourself and do things that other people were more comfortable with. We have the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like you have always been kind, natured, nurturing, in a sense, okay? You use the tools you had, all right? I feel like now with this regeneration energy that is popping up in this read, that you are realizing how you were deceived and how you allowed others to tell you what your course was, tell you who you are, tell you what you should do and how you should do it. You're realizing that you made the biggest mistake by trusting and believing other people who could not see or did not want you to see your worth. Okay? There's something about you maturing in your finances, the way you spend, the way you give, how you handle finances. Maybe there was a lack of respect for finances at one point in time. Maybe there was no self-control when it comes to finances. Everything you've seen, if you had the money for it, you bought it. No respect for materials. Now you are stepping into the energy of understanding why it's important to have resources, your finances together. Yeah, we have the Ten of Pentacles. It's going to create something bigger for your life here just by you tapping into what could have been something you were ignoring. Maybe you're dependent on other people to provide some sort of financial stability to you here, collective. Whether it's in a relationship, okay? Regardless, it was somewhere in your finances that were not balanced, okay? Maybe you needed a two-family household to make things better for you to have more money. Maybe you were a shopaholic. Okay. Maybe you've learned how to hold on to money, how to secure your future. Maybe you learned that you depending on other people was never really their responsibility. Okay, it could have created some sort of codependency. You could have been told a lie. Definitely something is wrong in your finances. The awakening, judgment. Realizing that you could have self-abandoned yourself when it comes to finances. Allowing yourself to become the person who gives up on their dreams. Okay. Not pursue the things that you wanted to pursue. Maybe you stopped going to school. Maybe you stopped pursuing a career here. Maybe because you thought you was doing something good for the family. Maybe you supported a spouse. Maybe you sacrificed your success for someone else, for the family. This was a lie. It was a trick to keep you trapped, to keep you codependent. The awakening is the clarity, realizing that where you fucked up at. But all for good intentions. But there is definitely some trickery and deception here. And I'm not saying that all stay-at-home situations are bad and terrible, but there was nothing more than you taking care of the family. Maybe you did not touch the finances. You may not, maybe you put something in someone else's hands. You realize that you should never do that again. That's not what you call a soft girl. Being in your soft girl era, no. No. This was a lesson for you to learn and maintain your own self security when it comes to finances. I feel like some people got stuck because they didn't have any finances. They couldn't move because they got stuck in their own deception and blamed someone else. Blamed the person who they were supporting that turned on them later on. It's also something about forgiving yourself as well. Maybe even forgiving whoever this is, the Magician in reverse as well. I feel like somebody was left out in the cold after some sort of clarity, or you chose to remove yourself from a situation that was no longer serving you. You could have had to start over. It could have left you in poverty, struggling, a temporary hardship. Maybe this is a divorce, some sort of financial loss here because, okay, you were used to maintaining or having certain things, but it was on the back of someone who was being maybe very deceptive and trickery, and maybe could have felt like they could be or do anything they wanted to do. This is you learning how to always stand on your own no matter what. Always have your own, no matter what. Never put your full entire life in someone else's hands because they can walk away at the drop of a dime. They can pick someone else and leave you stranded, broke, abandoned. And you over here sitting angry and mad and upset and confused. Like your whole world just flipped upside down, because it does, it did, it will. This Five of Pentacles, I'm hearing it's a beautiful thing. This was a beautiful decision for you. To go someplace else where you are respected. Meaning finding your own way, even if it puts you in some sort of temporary hardship. We have the Six of Pentacles. Some of you could be going back to school. You're receiving certain support that you needed to grow in your finances, which you chose to give up for the sake of a home, a family. It's like you're giving back to yourself. Your inner self, the self that you chose to abandon for the sake of good, so just remember, we all make our own choices and decisions. This is the part of real growth here. Not beating yourself up, understanding why you did it. There was definitely a good reason as to why you self-sacrificed yourself. Especially if you believed a lie. But yeah, I see going back to school. Something about becoming more self-sufficient. Instead of being the borrower, you can be the lender. The scales are being balanced out. It's a challenge because it's different than what you are used to. But it took a lot of courage, a lot of strength, a lot of determination for you to fight. Maybe in your position, you felt like you wanted to be seen, respected as an equal in the dynamics of the relationship. It was meant to break you down, Spirit said. It was meant to get you to a place of feeling challenged and feeling weakened and feeling unseen. For you to take this final leap of faith into that Five of Pentacles. It's something about protecting yourself at all costs. You're realizing you were never protected, provided for, but never protected. You gave that to someone else to do. And this is where you realize you could have messed up at, you know? You could have gotten very angry at times, especially with having to start over. Maybe even feeling weakened in your defenses, in your stance, in your own self. We have the Death. It was over, yeah. It's some sort of family dynamic that you had to walk away from, that you felt comfortable in, you felt secure in, because there was a lot of stability there financially. You could have went into some sort of metamorphosis, a spiritual transformation, realizing how you were giving your power away. You must sustain yourself, okay? You must be able to sustain yourself. It's like putting away for a rainy day, okay? Yes, you can be the supportive wife or husband, whatever, but you never ever give up your goals. And if you did, you realize to never do that ever again. But it's going to be something that's going to come back to you. A change, an ending, a transition. You're going to realize how you were the biggest accountant in your household. This is not going to be everybody's story, but depending on where you are in this, you're going to realize that you have a lot of skills. And with the Six of Pentacles, when I said about going back to school or something, you could be older, right? You could find it being challenging getting back into the working environment. But a lot of you could be coders, medical coding and billing, stuff like that. Like, you're really good with the accounting, the money, putting things, ledgers and stuff like that. So it was never really time passing. You were still learning certain skills to lead with. If you start another business, you're going to be good with your numbers. You know, you're going to be very accurate with where your money belongs, paying the bills on time, putting things aside. You're going to be very good with that. We have the Three of Pentacles, Judgment. You could be starting a business or studying. This is studying. Maybe, again, something in finances. Accountants. It's definitely something with finances. I don't know what you do, okay? But whatever it is definitely coming from a place where you've done it for a long time. Just wasn't never in outside of maybe your home life, you know. But you've always it's crazy. You picked up a lot of skills here. And it's like when you thought you were a team, but you were single-handedly doing this on your own. When it comes to the like I said, the allocation of funds. Someone could have made the money, you financed it, you not financed it, you maintained it, you allocated it. It's about looking at this experience in a different way. Okay. If someone left you destitute, if someone left you for someone else, it's for you to look at things a different way, because you still have you to fight for no matter what. Before going into another union or connection, is someone knowing and realizing that they have to get their own house in order, their own finances, being able to withstand or hold something on their own, not relying on others. This is the truth. The Ace of Swords is coming on out. You have the Six of Cups right behind it. It's definitely protecting it's definitely protecting your inner child. The empathy of you. The things you possibly could have even believed as a child. It's still a beautiful dream to have, but you want it to be healthy. You want it to come in as divinely orchestrated, but everything is for a reason. You have to go through the storm in order to get to the light. The rainbow comes after the storm. What's co-create? We have the Fool. It's like you going on a new journey, a mission, self-reflection. You're finally free to trust in yourself, your own abilities, not putting yourself on other people, not having someone that you can lean on, okay? And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but when you are self-sufficient and you're able to lean on yourself in all things, when that new partner come in, they're going to be the same, and together it's going to be a bigger, beautiful situation. No one is codependent on the other to do something or to maintain something. There's no pressure there, because everybody got their own. You're just coming in now for the emotional, not the emotional, just for the physical touch and things of that nature. This is beautiful. And it felt probably painful, very painful and challenging and upsetting that, you could have let a whole lot of time pass you by, thinking that, you was in this fairy tale and it was all a lie. Co-create. The essential meaning is creativity, art, inspiration, fruition, and manifestation. The oracle's message is you may not consider yourself a creative person, but in fact, you are creating your reality every moment of every day via your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, intentions, and actions. Yet you must consider that you do so in partnership with spirit, consciousness, God, or whatever name you call your higher power. You are a spark of this intelligence that works through you, nudging you with inspired thought and intuitive guidance. You are a paintbrush that co-creates a beautiful, unique expression of your own individuality blended with universal spirit. You are a product of divine inspiration, and now you're aligned with it to create miracles. When you view your life as art and know you co-created, only beauty and grace result. Prepare to be amazed. Here's a relationship message. Connections of the heart serve to inspire, opening you up to new ideas you would never have come to on your own. You are looking in the mirror held by this experience and seeing yourself in an unexpected way. Who is the extraordinary being looking back at you? You are going to be so happy that you keep your heart open. Your love is a unique work of art now, the very embodiment of beauty. The prosperity message is flashes of inspiration give rise to great success when you receive this message. You are the most creative now, and whatever you apply yourself to lead to the fruition of your dreams. Remember that all your ideas are channeled from a higher source. You create your reality in partnership with Spirit. The potential for manifestation is unlimited now. Reveal in its vastness. The protection message. You are trying too hard to create all that you desire without the nurturing vital force of Spirit. Perhaps you are in a creative slump, suffering writer's block, facing a monumental task, but unable to decide on your first step, so you just avoid doing anything. Does the word overwhelm apply to you right now? Why do you think it all has to come down to you? Inspiration means the drawing in the divine guidance. You must tap into Spirit, not simply yourself. Ask Spirit for inspiration. Two minds are greater than one. So co-create with the divine partner. Reclaim your partnership with Spirit. Inspiration will flow through you as soon as you get out of your own way. So to end the message, this is going to be for someone who's going to resonate with being codependent, always relying on others to balance out their lives, okay? Coming into a realization that it's always left them in some sort of deficit, okay? Always left them in a place where they felt left out in the cold or needing to start over. This was for your highest good. It was the biggest challenge of your life to focus primarily on you in the Most High, okay, and to give your strength over to Him, to surrender all of your earthly needs, but understand that there needs to be a loyalty and respect for finances. Why it's important for you to have your own. Why it's important for you to sustain your own susceptibility, if I'm saying that right. But it's all about you being centered and coming into oneself. And again, connections are a beautiful thing, but it's even better when you know that you can only and have yourself to depend on, okay? It's the most heartbreaking when we have put our efforts into other people to love us, to take care of us, to be there for us when we have a bad break, when we can't pay a bill, we have people to call on. But no, okay, everything that comes into our life is a mirror. What we need to strengthen ourselves with, what we need to equip ourselves with, so that way we can always maintain our power and our peace for real, by not having to depend on people who will look at you as a deficit in their life, and you sit there as if you're doing something beautiful when in fact you need to be doing more. Step into your power. Step into your divinity. It's entirely up to you. Okay? This is all I have. Thank you for watching. Until next time, namaste.